Okay.
Yeah.
What is poppin', people? It is a fantastic day to be alive. It's a great day to be great. A historic day in many ways. And the NFL draft round 1 has just finished. Last year, Badake was on his honeymoon. It was just me riding solo. So this is the first year we have been able to be on this Dynasty channel together doing a live reaction rookie mock draft after the first round. Can you do us a massive favor and go ahead and smash the hell out of that like button? I want to reach some historic, monumental sort of heights tonight with your help. Can we get 200 likes? Can we potentially get there? If we do, we are guaranteeing you 4 mock drafts right here, right now. Whole new group of people going to be able to get in through the Discord. But we're going to be talking about it. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me see if I've got the chat going. But why don't you go ahead and comment right now the best and worst fit. We will talk about it here in a sec, but I just want to say what's up, Chris? What's up, Pitts? What's up, Macy, Stowers? We see you guys. What's up, Cedric, Justin, TD, Michael, everybody. We see you guys in the chat. Latino Heat, Guild, Gluten Freak, everybody. Styles, we see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Already at 79 likes. That is incredible. We haven't even started. I think we can hit this 200 like goal. I actually think it's possible. Go ahead and do us a favor. Smash that like button. Okay, before we get started, let's just quickly answer a super chat, okay? Because I want to say thank you to the people who are donating. So, Darth Dookie, what a way to start off. Just quickly, we'll answer this and we'll get into the draft. I have the 102 in a 1 quarterback, 10 team start 8 PPR league. Would you who would you take after Bijan? For me, it's still JSN. That has not changed for me. I don't know about Badake. Is it still Quentin for you?
I think with Jackson's landing spot, it's too nice to give up, I would say. I think Quentin's landing spot is really good. My one question would be, who's the quarterback? But it's very close right now. I haven't really answered that in my own head. So I'm still going through the whole process.
I hear you out. I can confidently... Look, if you were QJ number 1 before the draft, I don't see a reason for you not to be now. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly.
But for me, I was JSN before the draft. I'm still taking JSN at the 102 and a 1 quarterback. But what are we doing today? We are doing a 2023 Dynasty rookie draft. And typically what we would have to do right now, Badake, is we would have to go and look at a mock draft that we're using for landing spots and saying, if this were to happen, this is how the mock draft would go. But that's not how it works today, because we know a lot of people's landing spots already. So let's go through this first round here just quickly. We'll quickly recap, and then we will get into our mock draft. So Bryce goes to the Panthers. Not a surprise. Yep. Great landing spot. CJ goes to the Texans. The big surprise is they trade up for Will Anderson. We like CJ. Anthony Richardson falls into probably the perfect scenario. A lot of hype out there was around Will Levis. Yeah. I've said this before. I don't have a first round grade on Will Levis. I said that back in January. Wasn't sure what people were seeing, and now it looks like the NFL didn't have a first round grade on him either. I don't expect him to go in the first round of tonight's mock draft, maybe for the first time since we've started this process. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, unlucky for Will Levis being there, not getting drafted. I feel like that's so embarrassing at the same time. But yeah, not going to be a first round draft pick. I think he's 100% solidified second round unless he goes to like the Raiders in the early second, hypothetically. Yeah. Who knows?
Bijan Robinson, the smoke was real. He's a Texan. RIP all the Tyler Algier owners. And Badake and I are going to take a victory lap for 1 second. Actually, let's clarify. There's 2 groups of people here. There's the Tyler Algier truthers who were respectful. Because you and I did ranking videos, and we were like, we don't trust Algier. We don't trust Algier. We don't trust Algier. And there were respectful people in those comment sections who were saying, look, this is why I like him. But there was a lot of disrespectful comments of people saying that we had no idea what we were talking about, that we were idiots, that Algier, look at how many rushing yards he had. To those people,
best offense.
Unlucky. Yeah. You should have sold Algier when we said to. Jameer Gibbs to the Lions. What the hell? Still trying to work it out.
That was the biggest what the hell moment of the draft. Like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs to the Lions. We'll definitely get to it a little bit more.
We will. I will say this just quickly, Badake. As much as I despise this landing spot and I'm annoyed at the Lions for taking Gibbs away from an alternative spot, I will say this is actually ridiculously good draft capital for a running back. Think about this for a second, guys. Agreed. Breece Hall was not a first-round pick. Okay? Jonathan Taylor was not a first-round pick. All right? And that's the RB1 and 2 in most people's minds. Kenneth Walker was not a first-round pick. Those guys didn't go anywhere near the mid-first round, near pick number 12. They were almost an entire round afterwards. So while the landing spot is not ideal, the draft capital is ridiculously good, and I don't think we can ignore a top 12 pick. We didn't even know Bijan would be a first-round pick. 2 running backs in the top 12? It's hard to question that draft capital. I mean, Javonte Williams wasn't a first-round pick. You know, it's like, I don't think we should be questioning it based off of the investment they made.
Yeah. And once again, we'll definitely get into a little bit more where he should be going, what's going to be happening. But I think the biggest thing here that I would say, the first thing I said, Swift has to be moved. Whether that is at the end of this and during this NFL draft or after the NFL draft, I don't think Swift is going to be on this team week 1, right? And if he is, that is going to be very interesting on what that's gonna look like. But yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs, great draft capital.
I tweeted this out yesterday, by the way. One of the surprise trades I could see happening in this year's draft, DeAndre Swift to the Chiefs. Let's see if that happens. It could happen in, let's say day 2. But that could be interesting. We need Swift out of there ASAP, both for Swift and for Gibbs.
Yeah.
After that, we see a run. Jason to the Seahawks. I'm betting on the talent. I like the landing spot. I like how he complements DK Metcalf, the most accurate quarterback in the NFL last year, the highest completion percentage, who just got signed to a long-term deal. I get it. Tyler Lockett is there, but Jackson Smith and Jigba is a better prospect than Lockett, than Metcalf. There's a realistic chance at the end of his first year, he's the number 1 target in that offense. Legit.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's exactly what we said. I mean, we can either see him demanding targets already over Tyler Lockett, early in the first half, or the transition happens to where Tyler Lockett gets faded in the second half of the season here. There's no doubt that Jackson Smith is going to be demanding targets. My biggest question for Jackson Smith and Jigba is who's going to be the quarterback of the future. And I think that will be my biggest thing. Yes, Geno has his 2-year contract, but after Geno, do we go on a QB carousel where they can't really feed Jackson Smith, or do they actually get somebody in the NFL draft? That's my only question. It's not really a concern, right? It's just more like, okay, that's like a little thing we need to think about. But other than that, I'm really happy with the landing spot. I love it. I can see the workload coming in without a doubt. I can see him being wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 on this team with DK Metcalf once Tyler Lockett's gone. So I like it.
And I hear you. And I'll just say quickly, the opposite side of that coin is Geno Smith is younger than Russell Wilson. He's younger than Aaron Rodgers. He's younger than a lot of quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins, so like he's 32 years old. He's got, a little while still left if he plays the way he did last time.
This contract even extended a little bit more, right? If they continue to do well. So there's definitely an opportunity.
There's no reason for Geno not to succeed now, Quentin to the Chargers. Let's give Badake some props here. Quentin has been my wide receiver 2, tied with Zay Flowers throughout this pre-draft process. Badake's taken a lot of heat for Quentin Johnson being his wide receiver 1. A lot of heat. And while I think this landing spot, it probably means Quentin Johnson isn't like this year 1, he probably doesn't have a chance to have like an Olave or Garrett Wilson year 1 because he's still got Keenan and Mike Williams there, right? Long term, this is an incredible landing spot to be tied to Justin Herbert. So props to you. How do you feel about Quentin, going to the Chargers?
I'm loving it. And this is exactly what I was hoping for, exactly what I was believing. Quentin growing with the quarterback, right? And that's why I said that. That's why I brought that up with JSN, because, you put paper, you put the 2 guys next to each other and you see, okay, what's the quarterback? What's the offense look like? This offense takes another step here with Kellen Moore coming from Dallas, the offensive coordinator here. Quentin is, in my opinion, either going to be the wide receiver 1 obviously may not be from day one. But Keenan Allen, if he does miss his time, Mike Williams, if he does miss his time, Quentin Easley is going to step up here and be a guy, whether that's in the middle of the field, on the outside. They're going to move him around without a doubt. There was already talks that Keenan Allen was going to be traded before this season. This is a perfect landing spot for Quentin Johnston. No doubt Justin Herbert is going to stay on this team for a long term, a long period of time. So this is a good investment, and you could be getting him on the cheap because people don't like Quentin.
Yeah, he's an incredible pick in the mid-first round now. I agree.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Exactly.
Sorry.
No, and one thing I just want to finish on, and even if Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are both gone at the end of this season, and you're saying, well, Quinn's going to be number one, but they might draft another wide receiver next year. 100%. Get him a wide receiver too. Let Quentin be the wide, whatever the case may be. Let Quentin be moved around. They don't just, let Keenan and Mike walk, and then Quentin's the only guy, and then he gets double team every time. He needs some other people around him as well. So I like the situation for Quentin.
Okay, Zay Flowers. I will just say this very quickly. One of my favorite wide receivers in this draft. But I have been very open in saying the one spot I despise for my wide receivers that I like in Dynasty, the Baltimore Ravens. And let me just quickly say why I think this is the worst landing spot, above Jahmyr Gibbs being the worst landing spot in the first round. Just quickly, let me say my piece. Since 2018, the Ravens have been first in rushing attempts per game 3 years, and the other 2 years they've been top 6 in rushing attempts per game. Okay? How about pass attempts per game? Last year, only 4 teams threw the ball less than the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? Where is the volume coming from for Zay Flowers? Mark Andrews is already the number 1 dominant receiving threat there. You bring in OBJ for a year at least. You have Rashad Bateman, who himself, he was a first-round pick. And guess what? Even without Zay Flowers there, without OBJ, what was Rashad Bateman surviving on early in the season? It wasn't volume, it was efficiency. Guys, Rashad Bateman had like 4 targets a game, 5 targets a game when he was not competing with another guy like OBJ. Now you bring in OBJ and Zay Flowers. I know the offense is going to change, but I don't see anything in Lamar Jackson's game to suggest to me that not only can he make Mark Andrews relevant, but also Zay, but also OBJ, but also Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman is not just going away. So to me, this is the worst case. I understand. New offensive coordinator, same quarterback, same strengths and weaknesses from the quarterback, same type of player who defenses game plan for because of his legs, not because of his arms. I'm not sitting here calling him a bad quarterback. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when the volume, okay, from this perspective, right? The Chiefs throw a lot. Their pie is very big. It's a big pie in Kansas City. A lot of people can eat that pie. A lot of passing attempts per game. In Baltimore, and it could change, that pie is one of the smallest pies in the NFL. So now you're looking at the percentage of that pie. It's hard to see Zay Flowers being some sort of top 12, top 24 wide receiver here in year 1. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just not my ideal spot. I'll just say that, and we can continue.
I hear you. I definitely hear you. One thing I will say about Zay is, the landing spot may not be ideal for some people, but I think with the new offensive coordinator, I know he's coming out of Georgia. I know he feeds a lot of tight ends, so that may not change a lot. But I also believe, which I have been saying for a very long time, Lamar needs to stop running the ball. And it's not because he, he's not doing well with that, but the injury history, and he needs to be a little bit more consistent on staying on the field. And I think that's exactly what's going to be changing in this offense. And this year may not be okay for Zay because of OBJ and then where the target's going to go. But once OBJ goes, Rashad Bateman is going to be coming to one of his, if I'm not mistaken, his last year of his contract, either this year or next year. It's going to be Mark Andrews and Zay. And then what's going to happen? Then do they go into a different route? Does Isaiah likely step up a little bit more? I think Zay can definitely find some opportunities. It may not be exactly what we were hoping and expecting, being like peppered with targets if he were to go to the Chargers, if he were to go to the Giants.
Totally.
So it's definitely a different perspective, but I like Zay for the long haul.
I love Zay Flowers, guys. Don't get me wrong. I love Zay Flowers. It's just I'm struggling. And Ron does, I think this is referring to the offensive coordinator change in Baltimore. What we have to keep in mind, guys, is the offense wasn't necessarily the problem. That scheme worked for this team. In 2019, when they had the most rushing attempts per game, guess who scored the most points per game in the NFL? The Baltimore Ravens. So the offense wasn't technically not working, right? I hear you guys. I hear you. All I'm saying is I love Zay. Don't like the landing spot. It's not a clear pathway. However, I do absolutely love Jordan Addison's landing spot. Badake, you and I made a video about 2 weeks ago, and I predicted Jordan Addison to the Vikings. Feels good to see him there. I think he complements Justin Jefferson so well. And I don't know how, like, this is good for Jefferson. You can't double him. You can't put help over the top anymore. This is good for Addison because this is the exact role that you and I wanted him in. Complementary, dominant two in an offense.
Exactly. And, you know, our biggest comp in a workload perspective, in an offense perspective, was Devonta Smith this past year with A.J. Brown. We said, okay, Devonta Smith didn't have the best year his rookie year. It's because he was the only wide receiver there and he needed some other help, right? They got A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith takes over. Jordan Addison is already walking into that role. He's walking into that situation. Justin Jefferson clearly is going to get double teamed there, whether hypothetically Dalvin does stay. Jordan Addison stepping into 100+ targets. Now Adam Thielen is no longer there. This is a perfect scenario. We both love this landing spot. Jordan Addison in falling to the Vikings lap at 24, man. I was really hoping my Giants was going to jump up there, but it's okay. He goes to the Vikings. But hey, it happens.
And then lastly, we're going to get to a mock draft here in 1 second. Kincaid goes to the Bills. Yesterday, if you guys were with us, I made a bold claim, and I said, by this time tomorrow, this was yesterday when we were live, by this time tomorrow, Kincaid will be the tight end one for everyone in Dynasty rookie drafts. And I think we're going to see that today. I think everyone would agree. He goes to the Bills. They trade up to get him. And think about it from this perspective. The Bills have been seeing the Chiefs dominate the AFC with Travis Kelce. Is Dalton Kincaid Travis Kelce? No, but he has the talent to be one of those top elite receiving threat tight ends in the NFL. They said, we want to get us one of those guys. They went out and got Kincaid. I think this is a great landing spot for him, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be a first-round pick now, even in non-tight end premium formats. But let's see. I mean, 100%. I'm not saying I'm guaranteed locking him in, but I just think that the ADP is going to end up that way.
Yeah, this is especially all depends on what's going to happen with Sharby, Josh Downs, all these guys. Now that Will Levis is out of the first round, that's one less person to have in the top 12 picks in your rookie drafts. Yeah. So someone is definitely going to be jumping up that spot here in the next couple of days.
Agreed.
So
Mayer doesn't go. Michael Mayer doesn't go. Let's see what happens with him in the second round. But this is what we are here to do. And I want to say a massive thank you to everyone out there who is with us today. Already at 127 likes. Can you do us a huge favor? With 275 people watching, if we all hit the like button on the count of 3, I wonder if we can reach some sort of monumental like goal tonight. So on the count of 3, everyone smash that like button. 3, 2, 1. Hit that like button. I wonder how many we can get together. Thank you for the love, for the support. Simple way to support the channel to help us grow. If we get 200 likes, we're guaranteed doing 4 mocks for you right now. A little marathon. Badake, we're going to send a link out for people to join today's mock draft. How can they join?
Guys, really simple. Link in the description, and link is going to be in the chat. You have to join our Discord first, and this is going to be happening all throughout the weekend. We're going to be going live after the second round as well. Join this mock draft. So all you have to do is join our Discord, go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, go to content releases, and that's exactly where you can join this mock draft. Once again, join our Discord, go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, content releases. It is first come, first serve. So if you don't get in today, it's okay. Like we said, hopefully if we get this like go, we can do other mocks. So here is, I'll be posting a link here. Let me just copy this link. And that link will be sent out.
Why don't you go ahead and send that out? Yeah.
2, there you go.
And while we have people joining us, I just want to let you guys know, shameless plug, if you want our rankings, which will be updated later tonight, and they'll be updated after each day of the NFL draft. If you want to be ready to dominate your rookie drafts, go ahead and sign up to Flock Fantasy with our code LAND, LAND, using our code is going to get you 30% off your membership. You go to that website, you're going to get my rankings, Badake's, Mason from Flock Fantasy, the guys from Fantasy Stock Exchange. You can look at all of our rankings back to back, side to side. If you want rookies only, one quarterback super flex, you're going to get articles that will come out after the draft. You're going to get bonus videos, live streams. You're going to get draft guides. So go ahead, use our code LAND, LAND, when signing up for 30% off. And let us know in the DMs on Discord if you did sign up. We'd be happy to get you some perks like the fancy hotline, access to our trade show, and more. But without further ado, with the first information we have had, we are starting a 2023 Dynasty Superflex rookie mock draft. It is PPR. It is not tight end premium. And for the first time with actual information, actual landing spots, let's see what happens here. Bijan Robinson, 101. I thought we might see A-Rich at the 1-2.
At the 1-2.
I think that's going to happen a lot, Badake.
And it definitely makes sense once again. And you kind of seeing this run here. Oh, there goes Jackson Smith and Jigba at the 1-3. Bryce Young, I mean, that makes it a little bit more difficult for you, or easy, some would say.
Yeah, so A-Rich at the 1-2. I would say Bryce is still my quarterback 1. He's been my quarterback 1 through this process. But Anthony Richardson, I got to be honest, it's kind of like 2A to my 2B with CJ. And let me tell you why. Because Justin Fields, can anyone in the chat tell me if you look on Twitter right now and type in Justin Fields passing, if there's going to be positive reports out there? I promise you it's going to be all negative reports about Justin Fields. But guess what? You, me, Badake, your mother, your grandmother, the guy at your grocery store, everyone has him ranked as a top 7 or 8 dynasty quarterback, and he's going in superflex drafts in the first round, mid-first round. Anthony Richardson, if he starts from day 1, it's almost a lock that he gets 1,000 rushing yards if he stays healthy. So the development for him in the perfect landing spot with the same group that developed just Jalen Hurts, there's not a better landing spot out there.
It's fantastic.
So
it's fantastic.
I'm going to go ahead and say Bryce Young staying as my quarterback 1, but my quarterback 2 at this point, I hate to be a guy who switched a little bit with CJ, but it's A-Rich. I'm going to say A-Rich is my quarterback 2. And then at the 1-5, I'm still more than happy to take CJ Stroud here at the 105.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. Anthony Richardson landing in a perfect landing spot, one of the best landing spots you can land in with a quarterback. Jahmyr Gibbs still going at the 106.
And here. I think that's right.
And, I think there is definitely an opportunity with the draft capital. So, yeah, you probably take him here with draft capital. But like I said, if Swift is not off this team by the start of week 1, have a lot of question marks.
I hear you, but
it's okay.
Let me just quickly, again, for anyone who wasn't here at the beginning of the stream when we talked about this, if you were with us on our redraft channel and you saw my reaction when this pick was made, I was furious, like beside myself, furious, completely disappointed. But I think the silver lining here, again, is the draft capital. The league and everyone is saying running backs don't go in the first round. They don't go in the first round. They don't go in the first round, okay? And we just saw 2 go in the top 12 picks. Jahmyr Gibbs' draft capital is better than Breece Hall. It's better than Jonathan Taylor. It's better than Kenneth Walker. It's better than all of the top running backs in the NFL right now. The 12th overall pick, that is some serious commitment from a team. So I would say don't sleep on Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm kind of all in again, assuming that Swift, like you mentioned, is gone. But what are you thinking here at the 1-7? I feel like I know where you're going, but what are you thinking? You muted yourself.
I did mute myself. That's a classic. I was just taking a sip of my drink. It has to be Quentin Johnson going to the Los Angeles Chargers. Once again, growing with Justin Herbert. I know there's so many different ways you can go with Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson there, and then Kirk Cousins. But another question mark, once again, just questioning. I feel like Quentin Johnson lands in the best landing spot to grow with a quarterback. My personal preference, yes, you can probably say now Jordan Addison going to be the elite number 2, Jackson Smith and Jigba to go into with DK Metcalf, who's going to be the quarterback of the future. Quentin Johnson just feels very comfortable right here.
I love him at the 107, yeah.
We all know that, Quentin is going to... We all know that Justin Herbert is going to get the contract extension. If they don't if they don't get a contract extension to Justin Herbert,
sure,
crazy. But that the chances there are low. So give me Quentin here at the 107. It just feels really, really good. And I was just looking at Keenan Allen's even contract. Mike, you know, Keenan has a contract out after this year. He can even get cut. There was or trade. So there's definitely ways to get opportunity ASAP.
Sure. Zach says, what made Jason gain value? I don't think Jason's gained value. I'm still going to, this is how I felt before the draft. I'm still taking Bryce and CJ over him. My question was Anthony Richardson. It was Anthony Richardson or JSN for me at the 105. Who am I going to prefer? Now, of course, I would put Anthony Richardson probably right ahead of CJ Stroud. But I don't think JSN's lost value. I don't think he's gained value. I still think he's the wide receiver 1 clearly for me. But yeah, there's no reason for me to move him down, and there's no reason for me to move him up. He was already my wide receiver 1. And yeah, he does go into a position where DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett is there. But for Dynasty, we're not really worried about Tyler Lockett long term. You know what I mean? It's really just Metcalf. And I think the great thing with JSN, which is why I was so comfortable with him going to the Packers, is that I feel like he complements DK Metcalf really well, just like JSN would have complemented Christian Watson really well in Green Bay. So I think that's a really good 1-2 to grow with for Geno Smith. And by the way, small low-key winner today is Christian Watson. He's been a huge buy for me all offseason. Are we all on the same page here? This is a huge win. People, I was looking on Twitter, people were like, make sure you sell Christian Watson because he's about to be the wide receiver too. It's like, okay, can we not just see a player do really well and just accept that they're a good player in the NFL? It's like every time a player does well, it's like, oh, sell. You need to sell him now. It's like, no, you can just hold young, good players on your dynasty team.
Nah, for sure. And I think like a lot of people were scared that, you know, the Packers wouldn't get JSN, and JSN was clearly the better wide receiver and then commanding those targets. I never thought of selling Christian Watson personally. I never thought of selling Christian Watson, even with any of these wide receivers or a tight end coming to this team. So, yeah, I guess you could say a small little win there. But, I mean, nothing else was changing. I think in both of our eyes, right? Yeah. So.
Latino Heat, thank you so much for the super chat. 104 and 109. Who are y'all picking in a 1 quarterback? I'll be honest, I think at this point, I don't know if we have enough information in a 1 quarterback to tell you who to pick at the 109. Like, there hasn't been enough non-quarterbacks to go off the board to give you advice at the 109. But at the 104, I'm assuming Bijan, JSN, Gibbs, and I'm assuming it's either Johnston or Gibbs that's available. So to me, it would be one of those two, whoever's available.
One thing I would also say, two potential players that some people had first-round grades and didn't go in the first round. Will Levis, Michael Mayer. What's the next move? Where do they go now, right? How late does Michael Mayer fall into the second round? How late does Will Levis fall into the second round? And where do they go, right? You know, I mean, we really have to think about all these landing spots, second rounds. If an early team does take a Michael Mayer, like if the Michael Mayer goes to the Lions in the early second round, I think we can see him right back up here at the 111, the 110 hypothetically, right? Whatever the case may be. So definitely.
I just want to quickly highlight this first round here and just say the one thing I don't love, because I think you can make a case for everything. I'm still not going Jason over these quarterbacks, even though he's my wide receiver 1 in Superflex. I would still go these quarterbacks who get that top 5 capital. But I will say I'm still going Zay Flowers over Kincaid. In a non-tight end premium, which this is, I'm still going Flowers over Kincaid. While I hate the landing spot, he's still a first-round wide receiver. And I was saying the same thing about Jahan Dotson last year. Do you know, like, you bet on talent, not just landing spot. Landing spot's good. It helps you paint a picture. But I'm still betting on talent long-term. That's how I play these Dynasty rookie drafts.
I hear you.
But, so I just think Zay should probably go 1 spot higher there. But, hey, guys, 363 people watching. I genuinely don't think we've ever had that many people watching on a live stream. So
huge love.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us here tonight. You're obviously crazy obsessed with Dynasty football, just like we are. So welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and help us reach our like goal of 200 300. We're only 2 likes away. In fact, I think we just reached it. So I might have to put a new little poll in the chat. Let's make some history tonight. We're already making history, but I wonder if we can get to 300, Badake. We're not even halfway through the first mock draft, and we already have over 200 likes, which is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And let's get into this second round here. Marvin Mims at the 112, a little bit surprising. That's quite early for Marvin.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite early, you know, and once again, I come back to the question, what happens if Will Levis goes in the early second round? What if he goes to the Rams in the early second round? What if he goes to the Raiders in the early second round? What if he goes to the Titans in the early second round? Does he come back into this late first, depending on where Sharby goes, depending on where, you know, maybe Josh Downs or Michael Mayer go? If those guys don't get a good landing spot and Will Levis does go to any of those three spots, that's a good, still a good question. Like, okay, maybe the Titans knew no one was going to take Will Levis in the first round, and they end up getting him in the second round.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe the same thing could be said with the Raiders. So I think there is opportunity still for Will. I'm trying to give still a little hope there to where he can still find himself on the field.
I hear you.
With a good offense. Just depending on where you see, like Will Levis is the 2-2 there. If he does go to the Titans, if he does go to the Raiders, I would take a chance here potentially. Yeah,
I don't want to. It's tough. You know, I was so anti Will Levis this offseason.
Yeah, I hear you. And it is tough. Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
But it depends on where he goes. I mean, let's look at the landing spots coming up for some of these undrafted players, because actually
there's still so many good players still, by the way. Like, go ahead. I don't know if you want to make your pick.
Yeah, I'll make a pick. I just wanted to see if I could pick up like a draft tracker, and we can see where some of these players could potentially land. Oh yeah, there's 2 here. Anyway, like at this point of the draft, we're pretty much drafting how we were yesterday without knowing anything. So if that were to be the case, my pick here would still be Israel Abanikanda. Of course, I don't even know if he goes day 2. I think he could. I expect him to, but there's still a very realistic chance that does not happen. So again, I'll just bet on a player that I really like there. But in the second round, where could Michael Mayer go? I think the Rams are a really low-key spot for a running back or a tight end or a weapon in general, like a wide receiver, a tight end, a running back. Don't count the Rams out for being one of those teams.
Yeah.
As well as the Panthers. Could Michael Mayer fall to 39 and be this tight end that Bryce Young grows with? Cameron Latu out of Alabama was one of his favorite targets this year out of necessity. But could you get a good tight end in there with Bryce Young? That could be awesome.
That could be awesome. I mean, there's definitely so many great opportunities. One thing I would say with either tight ends, Will Levis, or even some of these wide receivers, like, I would be surprised if Josh Downs go to the Cardinals. Right? Like, get Hollywood another weapon. D-Hop apparently is going to be moved. Josh Downs can go to
Titans.
The Titans can, like you said, to the Panthers. I think there are so many good teams in the top half of the board here that have, and mind you, not even for offensive, but defensive too. Like Brian Branch, Joey Porter, still on the board. Like, this is wild. Like, all these, are these Brian Branch, Michael Mayer, Joey Porter, and Will Levis, 4 guys that we were, I guess, expecting to go in the first round, projecting to go in the first round. Is pretty wild. Sam Laporte is still out there.
If you guys were watching our live stream over on our redraft channel, you would have seen me have a public meltdown when the Commanders took 166-pound Emmanuel Forbes with pick number 16, while Christian Gonzalez was available. So these cornerbacks, it's a weird class. Like, these NFL teams are all over the place.
I wonder why.
There's some super chats in the chat, and I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has donated. So that's very kind of you. After this round, we'll stop for a second. We'll make some observations, and we'll answer your questions, and then we'll get into the third round, and we'll also change it to a 30-second clock, because none of this is really new here at the bottom. But you know what? Why don't we just start with Ryan? Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat, man. That's very kind of you. He says, "Is Quentin Johnson now a top 7 super flex pick?" And I would say yes. He was for us before the draft, and he definitely is now, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely always been a top 7 pick for me. So I'm loving it. Please. I cannot wait for week 1.
For me, I think you have to put Johnston ahead of Addison because of the quarterback play that you can project. But I will say, if you're at the 108 or at the 107, I have no problems at all trading back to the 108 to get Jordan Addison, because there's a very realistic chance Jordan Addison has a better rookie season. If you look at these wide receivers and you say, who's going to have the best production in year 1? There's a very, very strong case for Jordan Addison. And as we know, people are up and they're down, and they change so quickly as far as how they value players in Dynasty football, even though they shouldn't. And with that being said, there's a real case to take Addison maybe earlier than even the 1-8, because we can easily project him being the top receiving, the number 1 producing receiver in this rookie class year 1. He might not be the best one in 2 or 3 years, but in year 1, he might be the number 1 producer at the position.
He definitely could be. And I think that's the hard part for me, still really trying to figure out, where's Jahmyr Gibbs really going to go? Where should I be taking him? Where would I take him? Because I don't know if I can honestly tell you with confidence that I will be taking him at the 106. Once again, I need to know so much more information. I can project that and I can go and lean on that. But that's very difficult right now with Jahmyr Gibbs. And I saw somebody in the chat saying that, the last 12, somebody said something in the chat. Let's see if I can find it. I wonder how true this is. Talking about the last time running backs that were taken in the top 12, they all have finished as a top 6 running back in fantasy.
I don't think we can over exaggerate. I don't think we can over exaggerate how important the draft capital is for Jahmyr Gibbs.
100%.
It is unheard of for a running back. If Bijan Robinson went 12, it would be like, damn, that's early, but it's Bijan Robinson. Jahmyr Gibbs goes 12. Yeah. Guys, even before Saquon Barkley, like, that is very uncommon. Very uncommon. So
very.
And they had the 18th pick. So in their mind, he wasn't falling to 18 in their mind.
There was a tweet that I saw saying that the Lions said he was the best player available on their draft.
And I don't doubt
board. But the thing is, was there somebody in between there that was going to take him? Because from picks
hindsight's
6,
2020, we don't know.
For picks 12 actually to 18, was that for Washington? Right? Was that for Green Bay and they move on from somebody else? Was somebody else going to trade up?
Right.
Was that going to be for the New England Patriots? There are so many things that could have happened. Maybe that the Lions knew, and there was like, we're not taking a chance. We're taking our guy right here.
Yeah, and the Patriots is a good shout there. They could have been. I think they wanted Lucas Van Ness or Jahmyr Gibbs, and they lost out on both, so they traded.
And they lost out, and they traded back exactly. So, and I think that is the hardest part. And once again, we would never know unless that conversation or that story does come out. But damn, man. I mean, I think that's exactly what probably the Lions wanted and probably knew. And it may be shocking for us, but for them, it's like, yo, this is no brainer. We're taking our guy right now. So yeah.
Okay, at this point, like, again, we don't really have much information. I'll take Boutte here at the 3-5, but we don't have much information about where these players are going. But Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat. Anthony, thank you so much for your super chat. Very kind. Would you rather have Ritter or Love? It's still Love for me. Love was still the one who was drafted in the first round by the team. Has sat for years under one of the best quarterbacks ever in the game. I'm still going to go Jordan Love, even though Ritter is definitely a winner from today.
I would agree. One thing I would say in defense for Desmond Ritter, he got a stacked team right now, right? And they invested in this offensive line in free agency. They invested in defensive in free agency. Now you have Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. I mean, the pathway to success is there. He just needs to take advantage of it. And if you have Desmond Ritter on the low now, that's fantastic, right? And
the opposite side of the coin there, just quickly, is that he turns into Ryan Tannehill.
Oh,
which is like, okay, but maybe not the upside of a Jordan Love, if you hear where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I definitely hear you. Not the upside of the Jordan Love, and I'm not saying Desmond Ridder does have the upside, but he has the weapons around him to kind of project him there. Once again, does he take the opportunity to get there?
I agree. He's a big winner today.
All right. You know what? I'll take a tight end here. Darnell Washington just goes. I'll take Luke Musgrave here.
Yeah, I want to see where these tight ends are going to go, man. Only 1 in the first round. There were talks that we could see 4 in the first round. I think we'll see at least 4 in the second, but I've been wrong before. Gil, thank you so much for becoming a member, man, on YouTube. That's very kind of you. You will have your loyalty badge now in the chat.
Yeah, huge love, man. Thank you so much.
Larry, thank you so much for the super chat, man. He says, Superflex 103 and 104. Do you double up on quarterbacks or take JSN into quarterback? And thanks for the sub, Shane. How I approach my rookie drafts is best player available, and then I will trade for needs later. That's how I've always done it. That's what I would suggest to you guys. You make whatever decision you think is best, but if it were to be me, let's say Bryce goes 1, or Bryce goes at the 102, I'm going A-Rich and CJ Stroud. And then maybe I don't get the trade for my needs straight away, but I have the best player available long-term, which will give me the more value in a trade. So to me, I'm still going best player available, or ideally, if you don't care who you get at the 103 and you just want a quarterback, you could use that 103 to trade back to the 105. Yeah. So I'm totally open to a trade back to secure JSN at that 105 with one of those picks if need be. But that's how I always approach rookie drafts, best player available. And to me, that would be the quarterbacks there, but just before JSN.
Yeah, I will also just say, just to close on that, also depends on what your team is looking like. If you don't have 2 good quarterbacks, and you can get both of your quarterbacks of the future here at the 103, 104, hypothetically, why not take that? Why not take that chance with any 3 of those quarterbacks there?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to do that.
Trent, thank you so much for the super chat, man. That is very, very kind of you. Again, guys, thank you. You've been awesome today. I mean, 265 likes. I don't think we've ever hit 300 likes. I could be wrong, but I don't think we've ever hit 300 likes. I don't think we've ever had 350 people watching us. So thank you for the love. Smash that like if you have yet to do so. But Trent, again, thank you for the donation. Can you give me some advice on how to draft for a current 1 quarterback league that is transitioning to Superflex beginning the 2024 season? I would be drafting like it's a Superflex league then. I would not be drafting like it's a 1 quarterback in my rookie draft. That's only 1 year from now. So yeah, I would only be looking at Superflex content and be drafting as if it was a Superflex league.
Yeah, and take advantage because, unless you kind of know that no one's going to be taking, usually what happens in a 1 quarterback, some quarterbacks fall into the second. I'm happy to take those quarterbacks, knowing if I do need a quarterback or whatever the case may be, drafting them in the late first, mid to late first, knowing that you can be transitioning here very soon, depending on your team build. So definitely a lot of opportunities and a lot of different ways you can go about that.
Yeah. But honestly, Trent, hopefully your league does draft as if it's a 1 quarterback league, because you would find incredible values and you would set yourself up really well for next year.
Agreed.
But yeah, I would do it as a Superflex league personally. And the good thing is, if they're not used to Superflex, then they might not realize how valuable quarterbacks are, but they'll find out next year. You're on the clock here at the 4-7. Just taking shots on guys that we like that are undrafted. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going Jonathan Mingo here. I'm hearing a lot of talks that he can be a 2nd rounder for us, which makes sense why they were okay to pass on somebody, get Deontay Banks, talk it up out of Maryland, and now Jonathan Mingo maybe in the 2nd. Who knows? A lot of opportunity. I cannot wait. Biggest losers, though. I would say biggest losers in a fantasy perspective.
Tyler Algier.
That's the biggest loser so far.
Easily.
And that's unfortunate. Biggest winners as an overall offense. I would have to say the Colts and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, you can make there's a lot of people you can make a case for.
There is a lot of people you can make a case for.
I mean, the Seahawks are absolutely freaking stacked. The Vikings,
for fantasy perspective, obviously, but
Yeah, the Vikings
yeah.
got a lot of help and something that they actually needed. The Lions, even though it's a weird pick, you know, they definitely got help.
They got Jahmyr Gibbs, and they got, who else did they get?
The Falcons, obviously.
Jake Campbell. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send this link to Badake, and if you guys want to get into this rookie draft, we're gonna pop off another one. I'll go let's say pick 8. If you want to get into this mock draft, how can they go about doing so, Badake?
Yeah, guys, all you have to do is join our Discord, link in the description below, and link is also going to be in the chat. Join our Discord, one of the best Discords we have here, Flock Fantasy. Actually, in the chat, shout out to you, man. Great job, by the way, today. Amazing job. We were watching it. It was awesome. It was cool to see you do your thing, man.
Yeah, you did kill it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go watch. It's on his regular channel. It's on Flock Fantasy, not the Dynasty one.
It's on Flock Fantasy.
But he gets to interview. I saw the interview with Bijan. Only thing I didn't like is the disrespect of the KC barbecue. Okay, I made that known. Don't disrespect the KC barbecue, okay? It clears. But you did great. I saw the Bijan interview. I saw the JSN interview. I saw the Keon White interview where you broke the D-Hop news. That was hilarious. But, dude, you killed it. You did so well.
Yeah, man. Awesome job. Awesome job. But once again, if you want to join this mock draft, join our Discord. Link in the description. Link in the chat. Then go to the DynastyLand tab with the orange footballs. Go to content releases. And that's exactly where and how you can join this mock draft. I'm going to send this link here. And let's talk about it again. I mean, obviously, so many different ways, so many different opportunities for some of these players. And not even half of these guys have been drafted, right?
I know.
I mean, it is wild how many other people are still available here, which is really exciting.
All right, so we are full. We are completely full. So let's go ahead and start this. Again, it's a Superflex rookie dynasty draft, okay? PPR non-tight end premium. And it's always good to get a little bit of a different view on what people's thoughts are. But you can see this is how the first round went last time. And let's see what changes as there's new people involved.
Here we go. It says Lions.
Oh, wow. They already have Atlanta there. Did you see that?
Oh, shout out to freaking
Sleepers. Way on top of it. They were not on top of it last time.
No, they were not. Let's go. I mean, that's a refresh. You see all these landing spots. That's sexy. Let me find out. Ooh,
I
click
see
on it. You can see it. Hey, come on.
Oh my gosh. I just hope it doesn't take 3 years for the rookie photos again.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. But it's okay. I mean, as long as they have the landing spot. Because people are like, oh, where did he land again? You got to look it up. Yeah, I forget. You say a wrong team. Anyways, look. Lions GM quote on Swift.
I saw that.
Jahmyr Gibbs pick really hasn't changed the math with DeAndre Swift, but it is early.
Which makes no sense. So you're telling me you had no plan when you picked Jahmyr Gibbs? That's concerning.
I was like, oh, it's early, but I know we still got Swift. We wanted Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Like,
that is really concerning. So you didn't have any plan? Okay.
Okay.
That's weird.
You know, I'm kind of leaning with you here after kind of thinking about it. Anthony Richardson with the rushing upside. With an incredible offense, but I still love CJ.
I know, that's your QB1, bro.
That's my QB1. That is so tough here. I'm still going to go CJ, but I definitely see the argument where people want to go Anthony Richardson.
It might take you a week, but I think you'll be with us.
Yeah, it might take me. I mean, once again,
it's shell shock at the moment.
And I said this last time. Bryce Young has one of the best landing spots to grow as a quarterback, right? With Frank Wright, Josh McCown there, and all the head coaching staff's upbringing. Anthony Richardson also with a good upbringing of a quarterback. What we've seen the history of it. Now the Texans, do they have that? Have we seen that in the past before? And you know the answer is no, right? Like obviously Deshaun Watson kind of a talent on his own, but do you still trust CJ Stroud? I trust CJ Stroud. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just want to say, in a super flex league, Anthony Richardson, there's no scenario he should fall out of the 1-4.
Well, he's fallen, and
there's no scenario he should fall out of the 1-4.
Ronnie there.
As much as I love JSN, to me, I think he's an elite wide receiver prospect. The rushing upside that Anthony Richardson presents with that offense and that coaching staff.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. A-Rich cannot be falling to the 1-6, guys. That cannot be happening. He's got to be a top 4 pick. At worst, he's got to be a top 4 pick, if not the 103, which is I think what he's going to end up being for me.
Let me talk to you about this actually, which we haven't really spoken about. Maybe we can go in depth in some of these players' teams. Anthony Richardson now there with Jonathan Taylor. This really affects JT. Goal line opportunities, opportunities of touches as a whole, I would say. And when I say affects JT, not saying he falls out of the top 10, but maybe he's not, in some people, solidified RB2, RB3, right? Where does he fall in that range for you right now, especially with A-Rich just on the top of your head? Because I think that is a huge concern. And his value may not be
overall worried, to be honest, because if anything, this offense just gets better. You know, this is already a very bad offense, and there was no clear direction moving forward. So it's like we could see the way that the Eagles, schemed up their offense, the way that the Ravens did it when Lamar was a rookie in his second year. So I'm not overall concerned, because while Dobbins was there, you had Mark Ingram, who was still a good player. If Jonathan Taylor was there with Lamar Jackson, and Jonathan Taylor was who he was today, Jonathan Taylor still would have finished top 5,
Right.
So I'm not overly worried. I think the offense gets better, and I think that the game plan is more defined around the run, which is in some ways going to make up for the lack of passing upside. Alex has a beautifully kind comment saying, "We're babies." Thanks, Alex. Thanks for hanging out, man. Shout out to you.
Babies as in like young, but I mean,
I don't know.
We can take it both ways. Thanks for the insult, but also thanks for saying that we're young. Pause.
Hey, between Quentin and Jordan Addison, it's very close for me. I was hoping that Quentin would be off the board so I could talk up Jordan Addison for a second. I am going to take Quentin, but I will say that Jordan Addison, to me, outside of Bijan Robinson, has the best landing spot. Okay, outside of Bijan and Anthony Richardson, I would say Jordan Addison has the best landing spot.
There are good landing spots. I think all these guys, in my opinion, have landed in decent. I would say outside of Jahmyr Gibbs at the very moment, the way I'm feeling, doesn't feel like the best landing spot, but everyone so far for me feels exactly how it was supposed to go. So yeah, look,
like the flower spot, man. I can't.
Yeah, I hear you. But that is definitely so many opportunities. So that's, A-Rich. So could be affecting Jonathan Taylor here for a little bit. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba going.
Thank you for the sub.
Thank you so much.
KQ. Sorry, I missed that.
No, Jackson Smith and Jigba going to the Seahawks kind of opens things up there for maybe DK to get a little bit more work. Kenneth Walker to get a little bit more work. I think those are some real winners. Same thing with Jordan Addison, maybe with TJ Hawkinson, right? Maybe that opens up a little bit more work, or does that really hinder him? There's going to be a lot of mouths to feed there with Jordan Addison, and really, if we really think about it, right? What if they get rid of Dalvin Cook, trade him away, and then take Sharby? Wow.
Sure.
That's wild. I don't
think Charbonnet will be on the board that late.
Probably not. Yeah, and I would agree.
And I wanted to quickly highlight that I still think Charbonnet at this point should be ahead of Dalton Kincaid. Now, tomorrow we'll find out if that's the right move, right? We'll find out tomorrow if that's warranted. If Charbonnet doesn't go in the second round, then we have to start asking a different question rather. But Zach Charbonnet, I think, still should be going right ahead of Dalton Kincaid. So I think that's the right move there from D. Vasquez. But yeah, we only have, it's like a puzzle, and we got 20% of the pieces at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. We can't even fill the first round with somebody that we still is undrafted, right? Which we were hoping for. We were hoping to see Will. We were hoping to see Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I think there's definitely still a lot of names and landing spots that they can go to.
I just want to say thank you to Sam for the super chat. That's very kind of you, man. And let's answer his question. How much does Charbonnet's stock rise if he goes in the second to Miami? Debating on him at the 105 or 107. I'll say I don't see a scenario in which I take him higher than the 110 now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able. Would you take him over Zay?
I would consider him over Zay at the landing spot is perfect, and it's like, okay, let's play out scenarios here. Thanks for the sub, Self-Made.
Thank you so much. Man.
Okay, like the Dolphins is a great shout there. If he goes to the Dolphins in the second round, I would have to start having some serious conversations around it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we should be passing on a first round wide receiver.
First round wide receiver, okay.
What I was saying about Jahan Dotson last time.
Let me ask you this question. What if Josh Downs went to the Panthers? I know it's a first round wide receiver, but it's a better quote unquote landing spot. Yes, second round, excuse me. He's a second round wide receiver, and he's not a first round wide receiver like Zay. Goes to a better landing spot to grow with the quarterback. Just kind of throwing the wrench in. I'll take Will Levis here. I know it's probably still hard to go with Josh Downs, but I think that's a good question. That's something that we need to question ourselves, I would say.
To me, second round running back versus second round wide receiver, I'm going second round running back.
Well, what about, I said wide receiver. So what if it was Josh Downs to the Carolina Panthers early?
Right, in the second round.
Yeah, in the second round.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay. Well, I heard second round running back.
Yeah, sorry. I said, so second round running back, I will take over a second round wide receiver. Right?
Okay.
So the question was basically, if Charbonnet goes somewhere, do we take him over Flowers? I'm saying no, first round wide receiver, I need to follow the capital there.
Oh, sorry.
But if a wide receiver goes in the second round, let's say Zay Flowers to the Panthers, or sorry, Josh Downs to the Panthers, like you mentioned, and Zach Charbonnet goes to the Dolphins. I mean, I'm still going Zach Charbonnet. I'm taking the second round. Second round running backs have looked much better in the past, let's say 5 years than second round wide receivers outside of that AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, crazy draft.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense here.
And this is where the rubber hits the road, guys. This is where the rubber hits the road. All off season, I know Badake and I see certain things differently, but I'm preaching take the best player available and trade for need. Well, this is where the rubber hits the road. You got to decide, are you going to take the best player available and bet that in 6 months or a year from now, you'll have the value you need to trade? Or will you just fill a need? This is where the rubber hits the road in these next couple of days.
Yeah, 100%. And we're hoping for these running backs to get good draft capital to kind of be here in the middle of the second round here for a lot of people. This is where, we see these wide receivers as well. So we're really hoping this capital comes alive in the next couple of days.
I'll take Izzy here at the 2-8. As crazy as it sounds, I love the first round, but I'm almost more intrigued about where Charbonnet goes and Rashawn and Kendre and Abani Kanda and, that running back tier for me, my tier 3. I really want to know where all those running backs go. I think it's going to determine the entire second round, but
yeah, I definitely agree.
Guys, 363 people watching. That's ridiculous. I mean, genuinely ridiculous that many people are watching. Thank you. Thank you so much for spending time out of your night. You just watched the NFL draft and now you're watching some Dynasty content. Clearly, if you're watching, you're obsessed with Dynasty football just like us. So welcome. I'm Zach. That's Badake. Both Americans. Both living in Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Nearly 3 p.m. on Friday over here for us.
It is a 3 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. But I want to say thank you for joining us. Go ahead and hit that like button if you have yet to do so. You guys are incredible. I am extremely confident we've made a record tonight with this 300 likes. I don't think we've ever hit that many likes. So thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. We'll be live tomorrow after day 2 to do more rookie drafts. So if you want to, have a place where it's just popping off rookie mock drafts, subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
That's right.
And we've also got some incredible content coming. Let me tell you guys the content that's going to be coming out in the next week. Okay, you guys ready for this? Okay, we've got winners and losers from round 1, which we'll release in your morning. Winners and losers from round 2. We're going to rank the rookies, top 24. We're going to rank running backs and wide receivers. We're going to give you draft sleepers to target in rookie drafts, rookie breakouts, must-add taxi players, rookies to avoid, instant opportunities, fallers, risers, all of that and more. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to get all that good content. Okay. Second round is done. Let's get into this third round. Actually, I'm going to pause it real quick and change it to 30 seconds. Because I feel like this is still quite irrelevant.
Yeah, it's still quite irrelevant, man. I mean, Colin, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He says, I have Jefferson and Hawkinson on my Dynasty team. Does the Addison pick hurt or help me? I think it's tough. Honestly, I think it's a tough question because I just kind of brought that into the conversation just a little bit ago.
I feel very confident on my answer. I don't think so.
Who does it really hurt, right? Does this hurt? Does this open up things for TJ? I don't think it hurts JJ. Let me just say that. I don't think it
does not hurt Jefferson. Maybe Hawkinson's, like if Hawkinson
that's the thing
entered the year without Addison on this team, he probably averages more targets per game, right? So
exactly.
At minimum, the volume's in question for Hawkinson, but I would say Hawkinson and Addison are still going to get a good amount of targets, and the efficiency is what will be very good for this offense, specifically this receiving room. Like, think about the Eagles, right? Obviously, it's not Jalen Hurts back there throwing the ball, but you can have a successful offense with multiple very good receiving threats. It just might not always be the volume, right? There were certain weeks where you didn't want to start Devonta Smith. It's not because Devonta Smith wasn't good or that he had question marks. It's because of the volume, right? So there'll be good efficiency. There'll be spike weeks, but
and I think that's the thing.
The final thing I'll say is I don't think you would sell either of those players at all because of Addison.
And that's how I'm feeling. I don't think you would sell. I wonder how consistent in a fantasy base, in a fantasy perspective, Jordan Addison and or TJ Hawkinson is going to be. I think we can all agree that JJ is going to be the most consistent there. And then, like Zach said, there's going to be spike weeks for Jordan Addison and or TJ Hawkinson, who is just going to have the more consistent throughout the fantasy season. And we don't know that. Still love the landing spot. Still love where he went. He goes to a good solidified high end wide receiver 2 role here with Justin Jefferson. I would just say I don't think it's going to be as consistent off my gut feeling. And maybe as we get closer to the season, it can definitely be better. And I feel a little bit more comfortable. But I wonder if there's going to be ebbs and flows for sure with Jordan Addison.
And can I just say, they lost a huge piece on their defensive line in Dalvin Tomlinson. And I thought they might replace him in the first round. There are some serious question marks. I'll take Laporta here. There's some serious question marks around their defense.
Bro,
I know they added Byron Murphy, but this team might need to be one of those teams who's scoring a lot to keep up. A lot of
points, and that's true. I mean, I was getting roasted talking about Alexander Madison, and I was like, I don't. And people were saying, you know, they're not going to draft offensive. They're going straight defensive, and the first player they take here is Jordan Addison. And yeah, maybe it's they go all defensive for the rest of the draft. But still, man, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And let's just say this about the first round, Badake. Let me know if you disagree. But I think the cream of the crop is probably the top 6 picks. But I know you're Johnson, so you might extend that to 7. Mm-hmm. But I will say, if you have a top 9 pick, I think you should feel good.
Yeah, you're feeling really
good. At worst,
right
you're
now.
getting a first round wide receiver in Zay Flowers. I might move that back to the 1-8 where I feel very good because I don't like Flowers' landing spot. But if you have a top 8 pick, I think you should feel very good. There's a lot of talented players, good landing spots, and good draft capital. So all this stuff about people saying sell your 23 first, sell your 23 first. The 24 class is going to be great, but I remember last year people saying the same thing about the 2022 class. So this is a very talented class with good draft capital. So
yeah, I completely agree. I think it's going good so far. If the first round if the second and third round is going to be anything like the first round, then there's going to be a lot of once again emotions and crazy picks that we're not expecting. I feel like that's going to be the narrative of this draft. People taking players extremely high. Whether that is a running back, whether that is a wide receiver, now going into the second round, like, whoa, we could be like, whoa, Jalen Reed in the second round, somebody else in the second round, Nathaniel Dell in the second round. That's another person that didn't go in the first round that everyone was talking about, Nathaniel Dell. Tank Dell.
Come on. No one said first round.
People were saying first round.
Stop it. We can't form that narrative. He definitely was like everyone's favorite wide receiver after the pro day, but we didn't hear first round.
I'm pretty sure. I remember.
I didn't see him mocked in the first round anywhere. But right. I think we can have that conversation tomorrow, depending on where he lands.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
I think it's a little too early to have that conversation.
It up a little bit, but hey, who knows?
Hey, Gavin, great point. Lamar had a great day. Lamar had one hell of a day.
Lamar had a good day. Got paid and got a wide receiver.
Got the most money of any active quarterback, right? Not guaranteed, but you know. He got OBJ. He got Zay Flowers. He's got Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman. Yeah, Lamar had one hell of a day. Okay, you guys have absolutely helped us smash our like goal. I wonder if I should put another one out there. I mean, can we get to 400? I don't know. I mean, let's see.
Could we get to 400? I would say if we get to 400, we should do, like, we'll do one more right now. But if we get to 400, we'll do a one quarterback mock. I think we were already going to do that, right? I mean,
yeah, we were already going to do 4.
We were already going to do 4. And that last one, I'm pretty sure, was going to be a one quarterback mock.
Yeah.
So definitely
let's just extend it to 5. If you get us to 400, we'll do 5.
Yeah.
And I think what we should start doing for these, Badake, is instead of going through the entire 4 rounds, let's just do 2. Let's just do 2 rounds. Can we all agree that's really the only thing that's relevant at this point, and probably the only thing that you guys want to hear, right? I almost start the draft without all of you guys, but would you agree, Badake? Like the first 2 rounds at this point, I don't think people really want to see more than the first 2 rounds.
I definitely agree. And if you guys want to be part of this mock draft, all you have to do is join our Discord. Link in the description below, and link is going to be in the chat here soon. Once again, if you're here for the first time, welcome. I'm Badake, that's Zach. We do have a Discord, one of the best Discord communities so far, one of the biggest Discord communities as well, with Flock Fantasy, Fantasy Endgame, Fantasy Stock Exchange, and ourselves. So if you want to be a part of that, join our Discord. Go to DynastyLand tab with the orange footballs, go to content releases, and that's exactly how you can join this mock draft. It is first come, first serve, but if not, hey, you can get an opportunity to join another one after this. And still so much is going to happen. Not only going to be live, not only where we are live today, we're going to be live tomorrow as well after the 2nd and 3rd round, day 2 of the NFL draft. So definitely come through, and you know, I want to come here at 4 and see how I would pivot there. So yeah, I'm going to pop this link here in content releases once again. 3, 2, 1. There you go.
We got a whole new group of people in here, and guys,
Jasmine.
While people are joining, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said Jasmine. What's up? Like, what's up?
Oh, okay, yeah. While people are joining, I got to do it. Shameless plug. If you're looking for updated Dynasty rankings, rookie rankings, Superflex, whatever, after each day of the NFL draft, then I have the answer for you, okay? Use our code LAND, L-A-N-D, for 30% off of a membership on flockfantasy.com. You get our perks, which include Dynasty rookie rankings, okay? So you get one quarterback, you get super flex. We've got an age slider here. You can look at my rankings. You can look at Badake's. You can look at our rankings side by side. You can add Mason if you like Mason from Flock Fantasy. If you watch his content, if you like Corey from Fantasy Stock Exchange, you can see exactly where we all currently sit with this rookie class. So if you want to be prepared for your rookie drafts, startup drafts, whatever it is, go ahead, sign up with our code LAND, L-A-N-D. You're going to get access to our rankings. They'll be updated after each day of the NFL draft. You'll get access to articles. You'll get access to bonus content, bonus videos. You'll get access to databases like the one that Fantasy Stock Exchange has released pretty recently, as well as draft guides. As well as if you sign up to the Mother Flocker tier, you're going to unlock something called the Fantasy Hotline, which is a direct line to Badake and I where you can ask us questions.
That's
You're going to unlock the Dynasty Trades channel over on Discord, which means your trades will be on our show each week that we do. You're going to unlock as well the roster submissions. We will break down one of your Dynasty teams. Again, if you choose the Mother Flocker tier with our code LAND, all of that is going to happen for you. So let's go ahead and start this thing. Remember, we're only going to do 2 rounds. Just because we have to be realistic. Nothing has changed outside the first 2 rounds. So here we go. Let's go ahead and start this thing off. And then we'll do a one quarterback for the next one.
Yeah, we'll do one quarterback for the next one. All right.
Yes, we did see Mason interviewing players. He did great. He did
it was
great.
awesome. It was awesome. It was fun. It was cool. I'll be shitting my pants if I was like, holy shit, that's Bijan Robinson. Holy shit, that was like, Brian. And he interviewed Bryce Young, Bijan Robinson. I think he got to talk to Jalen Carter as well. I think he spoke to with
Keon White.
Keon White. There you go. I'm trying to think of who else. I think that's about it. I think he got definitely more. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, JSN he got. Okay, well, here we go. CJ Stroud still falling to me here at the 104. So it's definitely similar. I wanted to see if somebody else would take him here. And, now kind of talking about these guys, let's talk about a dynasty startup here.
Sorry, I was curious what decision I was going to have to make. I have no idea what the hell to do here. Okay. I'm just going to be honest with you guys right now.
And this is what I'm saying. And this is what I was talking about. Okay, if I'm in this position, all these guys off the board, I mean, I know what I would do here. But if someone that's not a believer in like a Quentin, not saying you're not, where do you go? Do you go Jahmyr Gibbs?
I don't.
Do you go
This is a three-way tie for me between Gibbs, Johnston, and Addison.
Oh,
I think I'm going Gibbs still, man.
Man,
I just can't get past the 12th overall pick.
I hear you. The draft capital is there. Even with Quentin going to a good landing spot, people are still taking him at the 1-8, which makes me feel like I'm going to start trading back all the time and getting Quentin here because
it's just day one, right? Who knows what happens?
For sure.
It's too early to say exactly what will happen.
For sure, and I completely agree, and I think a lot of people are still going with that. So, so many different ways.
Here's what I would say: after the top 5, there's some real question marks from 1-6 to 1-8, and I don't know what to do yet. But I will say all 3 of those options are incredibly good options. Johnston in a great offense connected to Justin Herbert. It's kind of like a no-brainer if you believe in Quentin, right? Jahmyr Gibbs. Hold on.
Be
some
careful.
Idiot. I don't know who it was, but some idiot didn't do linear. We'll just pretend like no one knows who that was. It's like the have you seen that hot dog video? We're all looking for the guy here. I don't know if you know.
No, I don't.
This guy crashes a hot dog car into this like bank or something, and he's wearing a hot dog costume, and he's like, "Who did that?" Anyway, it's gonna take too long to explain.
Anyways. Badake is my last name. Actually, my first name is Daniel, but people everyone calls me my friends, my family, not my friends, but really not my family, really my friends. I mean, even my wife calls me by Badake. So, yeah, I don't know why it kind of just happened.
Yeah.
Badake.
I think Badake is just iconic,
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like, why? Actually, I know why. There was another guy named Dan that lived in our house, and his name was Dan and my name was Daniel, and I needed to be Badake, so that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Man, I just wish it was any other team than the Lions. You know what?
Still going well. I mean, it's the same draft.
Can we just talk about this for a second? If it was any other team in the top 12. I just think the landings, like, you have to look at that draft capital. I don't think you can ignore that. Like, if it was the Texans at 12, it would be a no-brainer. Why is it so difficult?
The reason why it's difficult. Okay, it's 12. What does that mean with Monty there? Like a genuine question, because Monty is there, Gibbs is there. Is Gibbs is this a rotational? Like you even said it earlier, it's capped. The upside is capped.
I get it.
No matter what with Monty, if Monty's there, Monty's there, period, right? They signed him to a 3-year contract. So Monty's there, upside is capped.
I get it.
How high can he really go here now, right? I mean, at the moment, he's my RB7. I'm really debating it to see
that. It's a great offense.
Yes.
One of the best offenses, top 5 in the NFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
Not an opinion, a fact. Okay. Draft capital is unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a single soul on this planet would have told you, outside the Lions, maybe, that Gibbs was going to go top 15.
No. I mean, I don't even think the Lions knew they were going to take him. Let's be honest. They even said it.
And he's clearly, without question, going to be the receiving back. Monty will not be on the field in 2-minute scenarios and when they're down. Agreed? You don't take Jahmyr Gibbs off the field. I don't know if you're muted or not, but...
No, like, I hear you. I'm here.
So, I don't know, dude. Okay.
I hear you. I'm not disagreeing. I just think, does he just become the third down guy? Is he just that?
I don't think so, because you don't spend the 12th overall pick on a third round guy. You wait for Devin Achane in the third round.
And you don't give Monty a 3-year contract worth. I don't know how much. I don't know how much Monty's contract is worth. Once again, I'm not. It's not a I'm off Gibbs. It's more like okay, how high should I be taking? Because I can't even give you that answer right now. Like I don't know where to even go. So Monty right now got a 3-year, $18 million contract. And they don't have an out until 2025. Which makes it clear that would be Jahmyr Gibbs is the year going into his year 3. What do they go and get another running back in the second round? Do they go in and pick up somebody else? Once I am not against Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm just trying to still question and figure out myself how high I should be taking him.
No, and I'm asking the same question. I think we all are trying to figure it out.
I don't know.
Hey guys, we're going to do another mock draft. This will be a 1 quarterback for all the 1 quarterback gang out there. You guys have more than exceeded our expectations and like goal for today. So we want to return the favor to everyone, not just Superflex. But if we get 400 likes, we'll do 1 more Superflex mock right after this 1 quarterback. So if you want to see 2 mocks, this is our 4th. So if you want to see a 5th mock, go ahead and smash that like button. I'm pretty confident with you guys' help, so we can do pretty much anything tonight. So hit that like button. If we hit 400, we'll do 2 more. If not, this will be the last one for the 1 quarterback gang out there. But if they want to join today, Badake, how can they go about joining this mock draft? Just quickly, let's say that.
Yeah, quickly. Link in the description below. Link is also in the chat. Join our Discord. Go to Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Go to content releases, and that's exactly how you can join this mock draft and all the mock drafts we're going to be doing throughout the week. So once again, link in the description, link in the chat, Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, content releases, and I'm gonna be sending the link out here in 3. Let me make sure you're in. Make sure you join this link, by the way.
Oh yeah, this is 1 quarterback. Where would I want to be?
I mean, you really want to be still at the top.
I guess I'll put myself at 4 and have the.
I'll go 7. I'll go 7.
I'll go 5 then. I'll go 5.
All right, 3, 2. There you go. That link is out for 1 QB, fam.
Wow.
So Gibbs,
I had so many emotions today, bro. It was such an up and down day. The emotions were endless.
The emotions were definitely up there for you. Shout out 1 QB people out there. You have an opportunity to join. Not that many people joining right now. Not that many 1 QB lovers out there.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many spots are still available.
Want to show some love.
Shane Gill says
Gibbs, man. I mean, even a 1 quarterback, where do you take him?
I mean,
maybe this makes it easier, right?
3 for me right now.
This is gonna be easier for people tomorrow as well. Once we know these running backs landing spots, I don't know. I don't know. What happens if Zach Charbonnet?
Okay, hold on. Just quickly, guys. We have 300 people watching, and we have 4 spots left. Does no one want to mock? Come on. Join the Discord. And under Fantasyland tab, under content releases, you'll see the link to join. But I'm sure there's people out there who want to mock. Let's get this going. Let's get this thing happening.
Yeah, I'll like this one. If you can find it, it's the one.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
So this is 1 quarterback. Keep that in mind. Let me put that in the chat just before we go. Okay, and let's do this. 1 quarterback. Let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, 1 QB. Let's see.
So Bijan at the 1-1, of course, goes to Atlanta. The smoke was real. So Gibbs goes at the 1-2. JSN at the 1-3. You know,
Wow.
I'm still going JSN at the 1-2, but I get it. Like, the draft capital is so hard to ignore. And you just have to assume that the Lions aren't the dumbest front office in the history of the NFL, and they had a plan when they made that pick.
Yeah, they did. They did.
But JSN goes at 1-3, Addison at the 1-4, and this is pretty easy for me. I'll take Quentin Johnson here. That's an easy choice. I think the 1-4 might have been a more difficult choice.
Yeah, man.
What do you do now? I mean, yeah, what pick do you make?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go this high for a tight end.
Yeah, or a quarterback.
I think like in a real draft here, the hope and expectations is that Sharby still gets a good landing spot, right? So I'll take Charbonnet here. Once again, hoping and expecting that he's going to be taken in the second round to a good landing spot at the 107.
So yeah, Charbonnet is probably the pick there. I think you're right. Then Kincaid goes at the 1-8. I mean, really at this point, no one knows what to do there. Kincaid makes sense. This isn't tight end premium, but still, I think he makes sense. But if Bigsby, A-Chain, Downs, Spears, Abanikanda, Evans, Miller, if these guys get like good second round capital, you could definitely consider them over Kincaid. It was just we don't know that information yet.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know, and it's very, very
Edwin,
difficult.
the Bateman situation is pretty much awful, I would say. Like, this isn't good.
To be fair, Bateman first round wide receiver still, but
no,
yeah.
I know, but that's why I'm saying, like, Zay Flowers, as much as I like Zay Flowers, he's not like this transcendent talent above Rashad Bateman. You know?
Wide receiver,
like, I think that they are both worthy of first round picks, but it's tough. I mean, he definitely could have broken out last year without that injury. Those first couple weeks, he was very efficient and very explosive.
Yeah,
a lot of question marks now when you add not only one impact wide receiver, but two.
Yeah.
OBJ didn't sign not to get any targets.
Exactly. And I think that was a sign, right? Like, that was a sign that, and we both said, I don't see why OBJ will be signing with the Ravens if Lamar wasn't coming back. And that's exactly what happened today. And we saw that. So that's really good for OBJ. Get in the bag, hopefully going into some sort of playoff scenario with Lamar Jackson that is clearly going to be feeding him. So let's see what happens here.
And I think this class has been redeemed. They're saying this in the sleeper chat, but I agree. 4 wide receivers in the first round, 3 quarterbacks in the first round, 2 running backs in the first round. If I told you a month ago when everyone was trashing on this class that would happen, and you also get a first round tight end, I mean, I think a lot of people would have been surprised.
Yeah, a lot of people.
This is not a bad class.
It's not, and I think that was something that we were saying the whole time. It's not a bad class. We like it. I mean, it's deep. It's deep, and that's exactly where, you know, we were considering and realizing, right? So,
yeah.
And some of these guys, once again, 4 wide receivers in the first, with teams that still need help. Do some of these wide receiver go to teams that need help? You know, does a wide receiver go to the Packers to be a good wide receiver 2 in the second round, better draft capital than Romeo Doubs? Does a wide receiver go in the second round to New England Patriots, who also need wide receiver, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Giants still need a wide receiver. Michael Mayer's still out there. I mean,
I was really hoping Jalen Hyatt would have gone in the first round so people would have drafted him. I really wanted people to draft him, push others down.
Oh shit! I was on autopilot. I didn't even realize.
He was my Trojan horse this year, and it didn't work out. No one's gonna draft him now.
No one's gonna draft him now. But hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Hey, if there's anyone out there who wants to see one more Superflex draft, our like goal is 400 to hit that, okay? So if you want to see a Superflex draft, one more, and then we'll end the night, go ahead and smash that like button. We're only 14 likes away. Otherwise, don't want to see any more content, that's okay. We'll call it here. But we do have mock drafts coming tomorrow, so make sure that you subscribe. And a lot of content coming on this channel pretty consistently.
That's right.
So why don't we take a second here and just answer, if anyone has a super chat that they want to answer, we'll answer that straight away. We might look at some of your comments as well. But guys, thank you so much for the love, for the support on today's stream. It was very kind. It was very awesome to see all the support. Daniel says, do you guys think Zach Evans goes day 2? I think he does. I think he gets into the 3rd.
I think he goes.
But I would say there's about a 60% chance he gets into the 3rd. There's a 40% chance he's a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick. So I will put a 60% chance on him going in day 2.
Yeah, let's see. 3rd round draft capital has to be far from Zach Evans. Fan, obviously, Daniel, you know that. So good.
You kind of cut in all in and out there. Sorry,
I'm cutting all in and out. It's okay. Yep. I mean, you know me, Zach Evans. I'm not high on him, but if he gets day 2 capital, then let's see what happens here. But talk it up, Quentin.
Talk it up.
Woo! Might get a Charger jersey.
Yeah.
No way.
I would say Anthony Richardson's probably going early to mid second round in Dynasty startup drafts.
I also think that he's in Dynasty, second round. I think he's going right after. I think there's going to be a lot of conversations with the draft capital. Does he go before Deshaun Watson? Does he go before Kyler Murray? I think that's where it's going to head up. At the moment in our Dynasty startup, he was going late second. I see him going right after, or right where CJ and Bryce were going in our Dynasty startups, without a doubt. That's how I'm predicting it to pan out. Could be wrong.
Yeah. Don't see the Steelers drafting a weapon, but the Cardinals could. The Cardinals could take a receiver. I mean, the Lions could take a receiver.
Bro, there's so many.
The Rams could.
That's the thing.
The Panthers could. Titans definitely could. Packers could. So don't rule out a very exciting day tomorrow, guys, because it could be a lot of action.
Round 2 and 3, I'm excited. 2 rounds, a lot more information. We're going to be, I think we will at least have, I would say, 3 rounds of information, obviously, of a rookie mock of players. So that's good. That's going to be good tomorrow.
Okay, guys, I think that is it. The last thing I will say is make sure you join us tomorrow. We will be live tomorrow after the draft ends to do a bunch of rookie drafts with you guys. So subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Smash that like button for us if you haven't done so. Join the Discord so tomorrow you can, make sure that you are, tomorrow you can make sure that you have a chance to get in. If you want access to rankings, you can use our code LAND, LAND, for 30% off.
Yeah.
You get our rankings, the guys from Flock Fantasy, from Fantasy Stock Exchange, Fantasy Endgame. You can look at our rankings that will update every day after the draft individually. You can look at one quarterback, super flex. You get articles, bonus content. If you sign up to the Mother Flocker tier, you'll have one of your Dynasty teams graded from us on a live stream. You get access to the Fantasy Hotline, to the Dynasty Trade Show. So DM us if you sign up. We'd be happy to get your perks all going. But if you're here and you're asking for a super flex mock, we just did 3 of them, guys. We just did 3 of them. So go back into the previous part of the stream, because there are 3 super flex mocks we did today. One quarterback. Lyko was 400 to get to another one. But thank you, guys. We genuinely appreciate every viewer today, every like, every super chat. It means much more than you guys know. And keep in mind, we want to keep streaming, but we have a lot of content to record for you guys. And we got to get it edited and ready to go for when you guys wake up.
Wake up, so stay tuned for a lot of good content in the morning. Your guys' morning time. Obviously, we live in Sydney, Australia. We can talk about that a little bit later. But your morning, we should have at least a video, maybe 2 out in the morning. 2. So definitely stay tuned for that.
All right. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your nights. Congratulations on night 1. We did it. Drop a like on your way out, and we'll see you tomorrow. All love.
Love.